Hey guys, our family nest. Sunny and 74.
Gotta get the weather in there.
Gotta get the weather. It is. There's a little bit of clouds, but not many.
I think it's beautiful outside.
It is. It's beautiful. So what's the plan for today?
So the plan is today is October 2nd when you guys are watching this video, which is our 20th anniversary. And while you're watching this, we are hopefully frolicking. What is that? Did you see that critter?
As a cat.
Frolicking in the ocean. And
I doubt we'll be frolicking in the ocean. You don't frolic in the ocean.
Yeah, you go wee, frolic.
Anyways, we'll be somewhere sunny and warm, just like here.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So.
Very unusual weather we're having here for the Midwest this time of year. But anyways, we posted on Instagram a while ago for you guys to ask us questions that are sort of like related to marriage and that kind of stuff.
Yuck.
Since yuck.
I'm just teasing.
Since we've been married 20 years, so we're basically experts.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. I'm still learning as I go.
Yeah, so I did some screenshots of some good questions here, and while we're running around, we have to go to the bank, do some errands and things like that. Getting ready to leave for vacation, we're gonna answer some questions.
Q&A.
So some of these things, we're gonna just pretend you don't know the answers to any of these. Some of you guys might know, like this first one.
You know what I'd like to do is a taxi cab. You know that show where you drive and pick people up?
Taxi cab driver? You could be an Uber driver. And
I should do that. Let me use your car.
No.
Why?
Alright, where did you all meet and how old were y'all when y'all got married?
They're from the south.
So a lot of you guys probably already know the answer to this question, but we're gonna assume that you don't. So
we met, well actually, Candy met me before I met her. I'd say we officially met when she'd babysit across the street for Shane and Kyle.
How did I meet you first?
Because I used to hang out with Jason. Playing baseball.
Yeah. I seen his picture in the yearbook when he was in 4th grade and I was in 6th grade.
Yeah. And
he had this like blonde curly hair.
That was
like, I asked my neighbor Jason, I was like, why are you yawning?
I don't know.
It's 2 o'clock.
It's alright. I need air to my brain.
I asked my neighbor Jason, I was like, who is that? So I knew who he was.
Because Jason was her neighbor, we played baseball together.
Fast forward a few years later, I babysat across the street.
I was in 7th grade, she was a freshman.
Well, it was the summer before that.
Anyways.
I used to babysit these kids. Oh no, I was in 8th grade. You were in 6th grade, and I used to walk down the street to the elementary school, walk these 2 boys home after school that were in elementary school. You were in 6th grade, going into junior high. I was going into the high school. So like that summer.
Answer is way too long.
No, so that summer we I think we kissed or something, right?
Maybe.
You don't remember?
No, I don't remember.
Anyways, we were like boyfriend, girlfriend for a little bit, but then I had to dump him because I was going in high school and he was going in junior high, and that was just really lame.
Whatever.
So how old were we when we got married? I was 27.
Yeah,
just turned 27.
I was 25.
And you were 25.
Yep.
All right. Hardest thing you've had to face together? We just jumped into a deep question.
That's pretty simple. I think, well, there's a couple. I mean, obviously raising teenage children is probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Dealing with
teenagers.
Yeah, adolescence and almost adult issues of, you know, trying to keep them out of trouble and making good decisions. And, you know, like right now I'm fighting with Chase about doing activities that I think he should be doing, and it's just, that's not fun.
And 2 would probably be running businesses together.
Yeah,
it's not the easiest thing.
I remember back when, because Candy and I were business partners for years, and there was a time when I had a bunch of deals going on, and they literally all crashed and burned, and we had like no income for a period of almost like 6 months, and we were wondering how we were going to put food on the table. So. You know, high risk, high reward, you know.
And not even just the stress of the money part of it, just working together can be hard though too.
Yeah.
Just It's better to not work together. I think. If you compare like the early,
I don't know. Yeah, I think now though. I mean,
now this kind of working together.
No, but even if you came back to work for me, I think things would be different than they were before.
Maybe we're just so much more mature.
Yeah.
All right. Next question: how does it feel to be married 20 years?
I would just say I can't remember my life before you and I were together, to be quite. I mean, I remember my childhood, and then it feels like you and I have been together ever since. So
you feel like we lost that whole gap of like our 20s before we were together. Sort of seems like a
I mean, I remember them, but it just was not as significant.
It doesn't really feel like 20 years.
Well,
though,
so here, and this might be a later question, but I mean, here's the honest and truthful thing is, you know, we're best friends. So I mean, I think that's where a successful marriage is being friends. I mean, we're buddies. We like to do that. We like to do things the same way. We kind of like to do the same things. So that makes it easier, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
What else?
How did you know you could trust each other? I feel like trust in the early years of our marriage was a lot different than trust now. Just because, I don't know, like your past comes into play sometimes with relationships. So you have scars from previous relationships and you bring those into your current relationship. So I had a lot of trust issues.
Well, the fact
you
that
probably didn't,
the fact that Andrew's dad cheated on you, you know, and
yeah.
My last real girlfriend, she cheated on me. I mean, you always have those issues.
I don't feel like you really didn't trust me as much as like I didn't trust you in the early years, though. Do you feel like?
I don't know.
Or maybe I was just more.
I need some air in my
Maybe I
eyeballs.
was just more forthcoming with sharing. I don't know.
I think that, like I said, in your early years of your relationship, there's always trust.
I think
issues.
when you're raising like younger kids and you're so busy and it's hard to make time for each other, that probably makes it harder too. But then you get older and it's more just, I don't know, like a mutual respect.
Yep. I think you just get to the point that it's not worth the consequences of doing something that you shouldn't be doing.
That's true. So. I think you finally get to a point where you're like, fine, you want to do something stupid? Like, you're gonna pay. It's your own problem. You're gonna deal with the consequences. Where when your earlier years of your marriage, you're more like, oh my God, we have kids together, and you're just more like aware of it, I guess. So, what was your first date, or when did you first meet? So we already said kind of how we met. Our first date, later on in life.
First official date, we went to see Top Gun with Dean and his girlfriend. I don't remember who he was dating back then, but Top Gun at the movies we went. That was our first date, and then
then like in our 20s.
Do you want to count? Well, it would probably be going to the zoo, right?
Yeah, that was, like, we talked on the phone a couple times, kind of caught up with each other because we kind of obviously lost touch there for a while when I was married to Andrew's dad and that sort of thing. We were still friends, but we didn't talk all that often. And then you had just got off work and it was like the lights before Christmas at the zoo.
Here she goes, and Ken shows up in a suit.
Yeah, we're going to the zoo.
I just got off work.
He was trying to impress me.
Oh my gosh, whatever.
He had a suit on to go to the
next question.
Anyways, but that was with Andrew, so that really wasn't a date. And then the next time we went out, just the two of us, without Andrew, we went to J. Alexander's, which is still one of our favorite restaurants.
I don't remember that. I remember going to Chicago. That was early on.
That was in February.
Well, maybe I lost from December. No, because we went out on New Year's Eve and stuff like that, so.
Yeah.
I can't believe you remember
we
February.
Spent a lot of time together.
Yep, we still do.
Yeah. All right. How do you make time for just the two of you when you have 4 kids and 5 dogs?
Now is easier than before. I mean, our kids are self-sufficient, so if we want to do something, we do it.
But pretend like when the kids were little.
We'd still have date night.
Yeah, because we had a babysitter for the kids.
Yep, your mom and dad would come watch the kids. We'd
Cat.
go out.
We had Cat, remember?
We had Cat. We were in a remember we did bowling with her. We've always made time.
Yeah, we definitely. You just have to make it a priority.
We're not the we weren't the party people though to go out partying all the time. We weren't that, but you know, to go out on a Saturday night for dinner and a movie, or you know, hang out bowling or whatever, we did that. So
yeah,
never a problem there. It's important though to do that kind of stuff.
Just make it a priority and it'll happen. How do you know when you've met the right person? You feel it.
Well, what did we used to say?
You feel it.
No, it hurts.
It hurts, yeah.
It hurts.
When it hurts.
When it hurts. Next question. That's insider. You'll never get it.
Well, how would you answer that question? How do you just know?
Yeah. It's a feeling.
Yeah.
So.
If you don't think you're feeling it with someone, then you're probably not feeling it.
Correct.
Okay. What made you guys stay together all these years throughout fights and issues?
You know, the thing is I don't think we've had, but maybe, in 20 years, maybe what, 4 or 5 major fights?
Yeah.
If even that.
I broke a mirror one time. It's always resulted in me breaking something.
Yeah. But you haven't done that in a while either.
No.
You used to get so emotional that we'd have these drag-dog arguments, and it would just go on for hours of gibberish.
But what's the one thing we mostly fought about was my problems with trust.
Yeah, that's true.
It always was related
we've never
to that.
We've never fought about money.
We never really fought about anything real. Like, oh my God, you went to the bank and took out money and lost it at the casino.
You're at the strip club, or you're out drinking.
It was always like
it was never
hypothetical.
It was
like
nothing ever happened that we were fighting about.
it was like,
it was all emotional.
Why did you get home at 1 in the morning and you didn't call me or something? I don't even know if that was it.
That would be something you would get mad about.
Like hypothetical stuff, like where were you?
The one we used to go up. We would go up north once a year. When
you did that guy trip.
We did the guy with my dad and my brothers and Tim, and it was just guys in log cabins. There's no women up there.
I remember that.
And
you were heading home, and you said you were gonna be home by like say 4 or 5 o'clock, and
I was
get home to like 8 or
you know,
something.
we're like 3 hours away. First of all, when you're up there, the cell phone connection's terrible. It's probably better now than it was back then.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then, I didn't get home till later, and then she flipped out. See, just silly
But
stuff.
even then, it wasn't even like anything
major, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've never really had any big fights.
Not yet.
Where and how did he ask you to marry him? We were at a park, and he put my ring inside of a 2-pack of Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. And we had Subway for lunch. And then when we got done, you gave me the chocolate, and there was wine or champagne.
Yeah, you said you didn't want. You're like, I'm not really hungry. I don't want the chocolate. Just eat it.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
You had to make me open it.
Yeah.
I remember you poured me the. Oh no, you didn't. You forgot cups. We were gonna drink from the bottle, and so I tipped it back, but I put my tongue over the hole because I really didn't want to drink it, and it fizzed out and exploded all over me.
I don't remember that part at all.
You don't remember that?
No.
That's funny.
That was a wipe from my brain.
All right. Did you want kids right away?
Oh God, yeah, she did.
We planned ahead before we got married. I got off birth control. And we got married on October 2nd, obviously, and found out we were pregnant on Halloween. So, yes, we wanted kids right away. Blake
was born in Hawaii.
Not
or
born.
Conceived.
Conceived.
Anyways.
He jokes and says he's Hawaiian.
Yeah.
That's not how it works, sorry. What's your biggest piece of advice to other couples? That's the last question.
I would
this
just
will be the wrap up.
I would just say, you know, marry your best friend. Someone that you can accept their faults, you know, because we all have them, and you know, overlook the small thing. Don't sweat the small stuff, and you know, just roll with it.
Yeah, communicate. Don't hold things inside.
Yeah.
Be on the same page with stuff. I think having the same goals in mind, like we knew, like even the early part of our marriage, we talked about how like I didn't really want a career. I wanted to stay home and raise the kids, and you were going to work full time. Like, that was really important for the beginning part of our marriage.
Well, I think compromise is huge too, because, you know, for example, we raised the kids Catholic. You're not Catholic. We did it.
Yeah.
We compromise. You compromise.
Right.
You know, just there's always things that you compromise, and meeting in the middle, which, you know, I know is a real struggle in today's society. Everybody wants to feel self-entitled and do things their way, and I don't have. I mean, that's the thing is I've noticed even on Facebook lately a lot of 18 to 23 years married, and I congratulate them because it's so uncommon.
And it's so easy to get divorced now.
Yeah.
That's why, I don't know. I was just thinking of something, how you know when it's the right person. When you're in a relationship with someone and you actually care about the other person's needs or how the other person feels more than you care about your own. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
Like, you're not sitting there thinking about, is this gonna make me happy, or like, is this gonna make him happy?
Yeah.
You know,
a lot of people are, like
huge.
I said, yeah, it's the me, and
yeah,
instead of we.
we all the way home.
Yep.
Yeah, just be a team.
A team is
when it comes to raising kids, housework, chores,
finances, all that. You just
everything.
That's the best advice I can give. Now, we run this test again in 20 years, it might be something slightly different. I mean, I remember when I worked at IET, and we talked to Jack and his wife, and you know, we'd ask them.
We'd always love to talk to like older couples and ask questions. Like,
you know, what's the key to your success?
And now we're them.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's funny because I do stuff with the kids, and they're little. I know this is off topic a little bit, but it's like when you're doing something, it's like you check certain things in that process that it's just part of who you are, and you learn those things through time, and I guess that's what I would consider wisdom, and that comes into the relationship, I guess, is, you know, the small things that you've learned over time that, you know, keep the engine running smooth. So that's it for 20-year anniversary. Hopefully you get to see some cool vacation videos. I like it answering questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could sit and talk all day long.
Alright, well, you guys will have to let us know down in the comments below if you have any other questions for us, and if you ask us something really intriguing, maybe we'll do this every once in a while. 20 years. Peace out. Because we're experts now. We are not experts. 20 years could be considered expert. Sure. Alright, we'll see you guys. Peace out. Bye.